keep off us. Girls is way too fine for us to keep off us.
Okay, it's your boy Crypto Blood, and welcome to another episode of My Two Satoshis. It is September 21st, 2019. Shout out to my man GS Bonanza out there on YouTube. He sent me a slew of song requests. We're going to go at the top. Jay-Z and Kanye, The Joy, off that Watch the Throne album. Thank you for the song request, brother. Again, welcome to another episode. I got my coffee here, chilling out. Got my Bitcoin rock here, and we're gonna rock out today. Hope you guys again are doing well. Before we get started with anything, I do want to let you know still I need more questions from you guys. We're gonna be starting a new series next week called Ask the Block. So any question that you have that you want me to answer, you want to know my feedback on something, just hashtag AskCB in any video that you want to comment under my videos, of course, and it will be added to the queue. And I'm just going to basically curate those questions and compose a whole video going through those, and may have some articles that go along with that. We'll see. Just kind of kicking it off next week and see how this goes. Do one a week at this point, but again, hashtag AskCB, and that'll help me curate those questions. So today we are looking at something crazy. Facebook has disclosed what the percentage breakdown of each of the fiat currencies are going to be that will compose Libra, which I told you before is just an SDR. Basically, it's an SDR. I'm not a fan of it, other than maybe it showing what benefits there are to use real cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin and even other ones like Litecoin. Anything that's not run by a central entity. I have colleagues in the whole crypto YouTube sphere that think that Libra is a good thing. And you know, I totally disagree, because Libra is nothing but the same thing reincarnated. If there's a system, a money platform, a currency platform where your funds can be frozen, what the hell, what difference is it than the system that we're already in? It makes no sense. I just think those individuals, and again, there's no shade, no hate toward them. I'm just, I got to keep it honest, right? Those individuals don't understand money, evidently, but they tout that they do. That's what confuses me. Like, they say they understand what sound money is. They understand what's wrong with this current monetary system, but yet supporting Libra is not helping people become free of the system or from the system, become their own banker. It doesn't do that. Libra does not do that at all. I just want to still cover this stuff so you guys know what's going on. I still personally don't think Libra will be launched in its current form. I don't know what they could do to appease the governments, but this simply takes away power from countries and their sovereign fiat currencies that they use. Okay, so we're going to look at the percentage breakdown. I think I told you guys, I know I did, that there were going to be 5 now different fiat currencies, but now I'm going to tell you the breakdown percentage wise of those 5 fiat currencies. It's going to be interesting. Second article is also out of A&B Crypto. The CME group wary of Bakkt to roll out their own Bitcoin options in Q1 of 2020. They're asking, is it a hit or miss? I personally think this will actually be a hit. People are going to love these options. Options are huge. Options you can make a lot of money with. And I don't think it's anything for the CME group to be wary of, with Bakkt having their futures that are fully backed by Bitcoin. This is something totally different. A different style of traders will be attracted to the CME group's Bitcoin options, in my opinion. We'll take a look at the details on this, though. Again, they'll be launching in Q1 of 2020. And then lastly, this was out of EOSwriter.io. CEO of Block One alludes to changes in the voting policy. We'll take a look at his tweet and take a look at some of the responses from the EOS community regarding this tweet. I said when EOS first launched that this was going to be the hardest thing for them to tackle, which was governance. I didn't know if this was even going to be possible. They're doing a lot to try and make this something that can almost be programmable, this whole governance thing. But it's going to be tough, man, because people, that is something that's not absolute. Everyone's opinion about how things should be treated are different. And so it's just going to be a tough thing to really narrow down and put something like that into a box. And so I never thought that they would be or have a problem being the #1 blockchain in regards to actual utility. Numbers don't lie. It's funny because someone tweeted to me this morning, or I saw it this morning, about this graph, and he got it from blocktivity.info. And it's just funny, man. Operations on the most active blockchain, by far EOS is dunking on everyone else. Not even a competition. Look at that, 84%. So I never had a doubt that EOS would be that dominant because of the architecture and the way they were designing it. Dan Lemire is a genius. Is a definite genius, possibly underrated in this community. My whole thing was always governance and how that was going to be pulled off, and it's been a challenge. It has been a challenge, but again, with some of the block producer voting powers, maybe Block One will start voting to try to fix some of this, where a lot of the top BPs are out of China, which, I mean, if they are able to get enough votes to do it, you got to think there are more people over there, right? So that's to their advantage. There are probably more people number-wise that are interested in blockchain. But, if you want to try to balance that out, then, maybe that will help to have Block One come in as a voting power. But I don't know, man. I don't know. I'll let you guys decide that. People are having, some people are in an uproar about how there are so many Chinese BPs in the top 21. That's a free market. They were able to corner it. We got to get more people to vote. Voting is up. Staking is up for votes. That's a good thing, but it is what it is. If you wanna change it, we have the ability to change it as a community. We gotta get more people to vote and get those people out of there. But my whole thing is, are you mad that it's simply because China is in there, or are you mad because you're somewhat of a nationalist? Like, you think that the U.S. should be the ones that are in the top? I don't know. I haven't been really able to gauge the community like that. I know a lot of people are upset because a lot of the BPs have put a lot of work in and have created a lot of great dApps and features on EOS.io are not in that top 21. So that's where some people are very upset. But I think some are also upset just simply because they're Chinese, which is insane. Because if that's the case, you need to throw about 98% of the stuff you got in your house, you need to throw it out the window. Because it was all made in China. It was all made in China. But let's go ahead and take a look at the heat map now. We've got Bitcoin down almost 2%, back under 10,000. Back under 10,000. ETH at $215, down 0.45%. Litecoin down 1.6% to $72.88. EOS up 2.8% to back above $4, $4.01. We've got Binance down 0.63% to $20.93. XRP down 0.28% to 29 cents. All right, looks like we're heading toward the bottom half of this channel again. That was a complete failure to get back above that trend line there, as you guys can see. Not a good look. We're pretty much traversing that whole pop. All right, so not looking good at the moment. So tending to trend toward bearish at this moment. If we break below 95.90, surely will be a bearish move, because we'll try to test that bottom half of the channel. So at the moment, still toward the middle, but I would say toward the bottom half of the channel at this point. And there's just really no price action to go off of right now to give you any new analysis. I mean, the only thing I could do here is maybe draw a trend line downward now, because it looks like we might be forming a new low here. So if I draw this, and I'm drawing this in a retro way, meaning if this move right here hadn't happened, I would have had this line here. I'm gonna change the color. So this is where I would have put this prior to that move back up. So I just wanted to give you guys that understanding to see what's going on there. You could have, I mean, you really can't draw it. You could draw it out here. You could draw it up here, but but that's not a true reflection. That's kind of drawing it based on the last wave up. But if I would have drawn this, and I should have drawn this prior to that move up, this is where the line would have been. And again, if you can see it's matching up perfectly besides this little spike here. But this is how you draw trend lines. And again, if you guys need help with drawing trend lines, understanding support and resistance, that's all you need for manual trading. It can be applied to any instrument. It doesn't have to just be Bitcoin. It can be any instrument out there, any financial instrument or asset class. You can use these simple tools to at least give you somewhat of an understanding of what the market is doing. So if you want help with that, you can definitely sign up. It's an in-depth training course, and I'll give you the details about what we'll go through and how you'll learn to increase your trading abilities. But let's go ahead and get into the first article for today, and it is about Facebook's Libra disclosing full details on its basket of reserves. China yuan left out, of course. Facebook Libra says, which is gunning to launch in 2020 despite major pressure from regulators worldwide, has lifted the lid on its crypto project and revealed the fiat currencies that would constitute Libra's basket of reserves. So according to this German-based news website, Facebook has disclosed that Libra's reserve would comprise of 5 major fiat currencies. And listen closely here, these will include, we know, the US dollar, but what we didn't know before now is the percentage. It will include the US dollar at a 50% share of reserves. Others include the euro at 18%, the Japanese yen at 14%, the British pound at 11%, and the rest of the reserves at 7% would be covered by the Singapore dollar. It was observed that Chinese yuan was given the cold shoulder after recent tensions between the United States and China. The disclosure of fiat currencies means that Libra would be backed by a fiat unit. Hence, Libra would only be able to issue as many tokens as that are equal to the fiat capital deposited for its reserves. The administration of Libra would be controlled by a Switzerland-based Libra Association, which consists of a number of companies, including Facebook, Visa, MasterCard, PayPal, eBay, and Uber. And this is funny right here. Mark Warner, a serving U.S. senator, was one of the many who had previously warned Facebook against the addition of the Chinese yuan to the basket of cryptocurrencies backing Libra. In this German report, it also added that the left-wing politician De Masi did not agree with the fact alleging that Facebook would use financial data collected from its users using Libra. He believes that Libra is a violation of democracy, freedom, and financial stability of users. Oh, like the Federal Reserve, huh? Man, you'd be surprised how brainwashed some of these, or a lot of these senators and representatives within the political realm in the United States are. They're just straight brainwashed, man. I guess you got to be brainwashed to go work there, right? You got to believe in the system if you're going to go work for it. But yeah, there we have it. Interesting to see. Again, I still, even with a 50% share of the US dollar, that is, I still don't think that they're going to go for it. It's just not enough, because that still leaves 50% of the demand for the dollar left out. And if this thing grows, like I think it will, if it does get launched, that's going to be a problem for Federal Reserve, in my opinion. You guys let me know your thoughts, though. Next article is also out of AMB Crypto. CME Group wary of backed to roll out Bitcoin options in Q1 of 2020. Is this a hit or a miss? Again, I told you I think it's going to be an absolute hit. Bitcoin is looking good in the eyes of the CME Group. Once again, the CME Group, 2 years after releasing Bitcoin futures contracts, is set to unveil Bitcoin options in the first quarter of 2020. Timing being the key here. Derivative contracts for cryptocurrencies seem to be a trend now, spurring interest. Earlier this month, the CME dropped hints that another Bitcoin product could hit its shelves. And it goes on to say that with their crosstown rival CBOE dropping out of the Bitcoin futures race earlier this year, CME operated unrivaled for the better part of this year, but now a new entrant beckons, and that is Bakkt. Bakkt, which is ICE's digital asset platform, will go live with its Bitcoin futures contract geared for institutional clients with the aim of stilling the derivatives market. The major sale for the ICE project is physically delivered Bitcoin contracts as opposed to the CME's cash settled contracts. So what do you guys think? This article seems to think that the CME Bitcoin futures are going to be in trouble simply because they're trying to now introduce this options, which the options are also going to be cash settled only, is a little bit out of touch in their opinion. What do you think? Do you think they need to start heading toward a physically backed? When I say physically, just meaning it can be settled in Bitcoin. There is no physical Bitcoin, but the contracts could be settled in Bitcoin. Do you think they need to start heading that way as Backed is doing? I don't think it's really going to matter. These people are just purely in this for speculation. They don't care to actually get the delivery of those Bitcoins once those contracts expire, if they end up in the green or in the money, right? Again, let me know your thoughts. Do you think this is going to hurt the CME group having Backed launch next week? And the last article is about the CEO of Block One, alluding to changes in voting policy. Says that Brendan Blummer, CEO of Block One, dropped a mini bombshell in a tweet when he alluded to Block One potentially beginning to vote with their stash of EOS tokens, which they have around 100 million EOS tokens. It says in the tweet, Block One always stated that they would not consider voting until they became the clear minority of voting tokens. B1 now owns less than 1/3 of the amount of tokens that are voting for top EOS BPs. EOS voting participation has never been higher. What does that mean? I don't know. I think possibly it means that they're gearing up to start voting. The article says that this message has a dual meaning. On one hand, Brendan praises EOS.io's voting progress and that the fact that a lot of tokens are currently being used for voting. This is significantly different even from 6 months ago, where a much smaller portion of tokens was used to vote. But also one can read between the lines and realize that Brendan can be alluding to a change in Block One's voting policy. It goes on to say this can soon change, and the timing of this change could be associated with the latest governance conversations that sprung up among various community members. Clearly, governance is on everyone's mind right now, and some EOS supporters believe that Block One should intervene. You guys let me know your thoughts on this, and it's interesting to see some of the ideas that are being proposed out there for governance. One being random shuffling. We've got proof of reinvestment, B1 democratic voting proxy proposals, and block producer diversity. This one here, is the one that I was talking about. The idea to achieve regional diversity in blockchain production activity. It can be done by separating block producers' reward into two components and changing the mechanism for selecting 21 active block producing teams. The basis of this idea is to divide the top 21 block producers by regions, loosely based on world population allocation percentage, giving each region a specific number of seats. But as this article points out, that's going to be hard to identify diversity as far as regionally, because it could be a scenario like me. I'm in America, or I'm an American citizen, but maybe I live in London and I have, my company set up in Australia, and maybe I'm running my node on the AWS. Where is that? You know what I'm saying? So it's just, where would you pin me down as a BP? I'm not too sure. That's going to be tough to do, although on paper that sounds good. But yeah, we'll see what happens with this voting. I think them voting, I guess, is a good thing. You guys let me know your thoughts though on this. But that's pretty much it for today, ladies and gents. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Make sure you guys like, share, and subscribe to be notified about unbiased crypto news reported by yours truly, Crypto Blood. And again, shout out to my man GS Bonanza for the song requests, plural. Jay-Z and Kanye, The Joy. That's the one we're doing today. We'll do this Quasimodo Fatbacks tomorrow. Thanks again, bro, for the song request. That's my 2 Satoshis for September 21st, 2019. I'm out of here, people. Holla. 1 2 1 2